our teammates that have jobs, go ahead and take the days off work, right? You gotta plan on being there. So take the time off work, and then start working on your travel and your stay. Talk to your regional vice presidents. We'll be more than happy to assist you and help you with that. Our teammates in Florida, Marissa, I'm looking forward to seeing you. You go already be down there, friend. So excited about that. So let's dive in tonight. I am going to cover the recruiting presentation. We've been kind of recruiting heavy over the last few weeks, just kind of drilling this skill down. So tonight we're gonna pick up on that. This will probably be our last night, for a while covering this. But so tonight I'm gonna present you guys my recruiting presentation. Dan presented last week. I'm gonna present tonight. Our presentations are a little different, but they're the same in a ton of ways. Uh, but some really quick before I dive in, I want to kind of lay some groundwork um, as to how my presentation works. So number one is so I actually send a video before I present um, to a prospective client. So I send them over a video. It's called the financial house video, and it shares our financial concepts and approaches when we're dealing with individuals and couples. So essentially, when I'm presenting to somebody, Jaren, I'm presenting to a person that actually has some interest in what we do already, right? I am trying to weed out the non-interested people before they get onto my Zoom call, right? So I send that video over to them, and if they don't have any interest in what we do from watching that video, we most likely won't even meet. Okay. But if they do meet with me, I know that they have some interest in exactly what we do for people. Now, my second point to that first point is that video does not share, because I've had people, we have a couple different videos out that people utilize. That video does not share covering the background check and how we get compensated. It just shows how we help individuals and couples. So our financial concepts and approaches. I talk more with them about how we help, how we get compensated and how the background check works. Why? I'm better at explaining that and answering questions than that video can. Okay, so I'm okay with the video, doing some presenting to save me some time up front, but I wanted the pertinent information, right? Like I want to leave that to me. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is like I mentioned already. Dan, our presentations are a little different. But what you will see a underlying theme there where the questions are the same. Talking about the company is pretty much the same. Little different flow, but a lot of it is exactly the same. Okay, so with that being said, who wants to be my volunteer tonight? I'm gonna role play the presentation. Anybody? All right,
I'll volunteer.
I
all right,
wanted
perfect.
to,
Thank
but
you, Marissa.
okay.
I'm gonna spotlight Marissa and myself. Um, and I'm just going to present to Marissa where most of you guys getting your recruiting contacts from these days. Social media, is that kind of fair to say? Social
Yeah.
media. Okay. All right. So let's say Marissa and I, we connected over social media, and we're setting this appointment. So I'm gonna do something really quick here. I'm going to Marissa. So first, I'm gonna set an appointment with you, so you guys
Okay.
can hear with my appointment setting sounds like with a person over social media, and then we'll do like a fast forward into our appointment. Okay.
Okay.
But let's say, so number one is I'm always, when I'm prospecting people over social media, I'm always getting their number so I can call. Okay, always getting their number so I can call. I'm gonna try my best to avoid trying to deal with objections and setting an appointment over Messenger or something like that. So I'm always going to get their number. So I got Marissa's number. I'm calling her. Hey Marissa, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Jerome?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for asking. Appreciate you taking the call. How's your day going? What you got going on today?
It's going. Just a lot of mundane little tasks around the house, but grateful, happy to be here.
That's awesome. I can understand that. It's kind of like kind of how Sundays are, right? Kind of
Yeah.
But hey, Marissa, I won't keep you long. Like I mentioned, in our message there over Facebook, I run a business. I'm in the process of opening up my third office. I'm looking for some good people. You seem like a very sharp young lady. I would love to set up a time to meet with you and share with you what I'm doing. I think it'll be a great fit for you. As far as us meeting, Marissa, do you have some time, maybe tomorrow or Tuesday where you can spare maybe 15, 30 minutes for me over a Zoom call?
Yeah, possibly, but what company do you work for? Or what's the name of
Marissa,
your business?
hey, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked, Marissa. I am a regional vice president with a company called Primerica. We're actually the number one financial service distribution company in North America, believe it or not. So we got some good stuff going. Uh, so you think maybe Monday or Tuesday would be good for you to spare 30 minutes for me?
Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, but is it one of those MLM things?
No, that's a great question, Marissa. It is not. It's not an MLM, but I appreciate that. Though we get state and federal licenses, Marissa, to help people with things like insurances, investments, paying off debts, those type of things. So no, to answer your question, no, we're not a MLM. So and that's fair. I get that a lot, with over social media and all these things that are going
Yeah.
on. So I'm never offended by that question. So that's a great question. So you said maybe Tuesday?
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to 30 minutes.
Tuesday? Okay. You got some time in the morning or like in the afternoon or evening on Tuesday?
Evenings work best because I work during the day.
Evening? Okay. So if I were to meet with you Tuesday evening, I have some time, maybe like 5 or 6, or then I can maybe meet again around 8. Any one of those times work good for you?
8 works better. Yeah.
8? All right, perfect. So we'll do 8 o'clock on Tuesday. And Marissa, I want to meet with you over Zoom. So I can send you a Zoom link. Would you prefer to have that come to an email or to a text?
Text is fine.
Text. All right. And I can text this number that I'm calling you at right now.
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right, so I got us down for Tuesday, 8 o'clock over Zoom, Marissa. So what I'll do is when we hang up here, I'll send you over that Zoom link for that day. And then I'll also send you over a quick little 17-minute video. It shares exactly what we do, like how we help people, the kind of our financial concepts and approaches. So you can have a good understanding coming into our meeting, okay?
Sure. Sounds good.
All right, Marissa. Well, hey, you sound like a sharp person. No need to call and confirm me. I'm looking forward to seeing you Tuesday at 8, okay?
Yeah, likewise, Jerome. Thanks.
All right, perfect. So that's how I set my appointments. Thanks, Marissa, for the 19 objections. I appreciate you. I love you. So that's how you set the appointment. That's how you deal with those objections. You got it real time, thanks to y'all girl Marissa. But okay, now, so now we're on the appointment. So I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of what it looks like to set the appointment. So now we're on an appointment with Marissa. So hey, Marissa, how's it going?
It's going so good. Blessed by the best.
Yeah, hey, amen to that, sister. Amen to that. Well, I appreciate you giving me some time today. Thank you so much. I just wanted to get to know you a little bit better, and then I can give you some information, about our company and what we do, and we can kind of go from there. That sound fair?
Cool.
All right, perfect. So, Marissa, where are you chiming in from? I think you said you were in Florida.
Yeah, I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. All right. What's the weather like there? Is it beautiful there today?
Kind of rainy today. I kind of ended my workout a little bit early, but it's all good. I just worked out inside.
Okay. Well, you got an outdoor workout and got some fresh air, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, nothing like that. See, if I did the outdoor workouts right now is the time to do it up here in Michigan. The weather's about to change
Yeah.
drastically here. So, good for you. So, tell me, Marissa, what you currently do for work right now?
Yeah, so I work in the nonprofit space. I help charities run their golf tournaments. Um, yeah, it's really fun. It's a fully commissioned job. I also do personal training on the side as well. And that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing the nonprofit work there?
I've been doing that for about 3 years now.
3 years. Awesome, awesome. And what would you say you enjoy most about that line of work?
Yeah, I mean, I lost faith in humanity not too long ago. So, working with organizations that I work with, they're dedicated to solving a lot of the problems in the world. And it just gives me hope that there's some really awesome people out there still.
That's cool. That's good to hear, Marissa. So it sounds like you got a helping heart. Like you really want to get involved in something where you can, really help people and change lives. Is that kind of fair to say?
You're exactly right.
All right, cool. Now this might be a tougher question to answer based on that last response. But what would you say you dislike about your job? What would you change if you could?
I mean, it's sales. You know, if I don't show up, I don't get paid. Um, you know, every week is a new week, and I just wish I had a little bit more leverage with my time.
Okay. Okay. Now, so it is sales. Like, so is it like, hey, you're out canvassing, meeting with people sales, or is it like, hey, you're kind of tied to a desk for a period of time trying to get the sales? Like, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, so I'm tied to a desk.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like if you could do somewhere you're not tied to a desk and use some of those skill sets that you have. So because obviously you have some sales skill, you have some people skills. So if you can continue to utilize those skills, maybe transition those skills into another line of work, it sounds like that would be something you would have some interest in.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
perfect.
possible.
All right, all right. What do you so I know you work out, you already told me that. But what else do you do with your free time outside of work? Right outside of training, you got anything else you like doing? Any other hobbies?
I'm pretty much a homebody. I just go to work. I mean, thankfully with my job, we get to go to the tournaments that we work with, so I do spend some time out on the course a lot as well. But other than working out, and I like creating social media content as well and
Okay.
cooking. So I don't
Are
know.
you,
I'm kind of a boring person. Wrong person to ask.
hey, no. Hey, look, nothing wrong with that. That probably keeps you out of trouble, right?
Yeah.
Stay at home. Okay. And I'm always curious with the people that I'm starting to work with, Marissa. Any objectives and goals? You like have any place that you see yourself in maybe the next 5 to 10 years that requires you to start something new?
Yeah, I definitely want to homeschool my kids.
Okay.
And I want to grow crops as well. So, you know, it's going to require some level of remoteness. Obviously, that's the dream, but mainly just being able to not have to leave my children, even though I don't have any kids yet, but just be in
That's
the
okay.
position where I can homeschool them and, you know, just be there with them and just
Yeah.
have more of that flexibility of time.
That's awesome. I can definitely understand that. My wife and I homeschool our kids, and this opportunity has allowed us to be able to do so. So I know I could,
Yeah.
I know I could put you in a position to do so. Well,
So
I-
cool.
I'm glad to have you on, Marissa. I'm gonna share my screen, give you some information about the company, and see how we can get you going. Okay.
Okay,
So
sounds good.
give me a thumbs up when you see my screen sharing. Yeah, all right, perfect. So, Marissa, like I was mentioning, I'm a regional vice president with a company called Primerica. Have you ever heard of Primerica before? Are you
It
familiar?
sounds familiar,
Okay.
but I just know the name. I don't really know what you guys do.
Okay, perfect. I've definitely heard that before. We had you might see like office buildings and sometimes certain offices put out ads and stuff like that, but it is possible to, to run across us. We're out there. Let me give you a little bit of information about the company, Marissa. So Primerica, we've been around now since 1977. We actually used to be a part of Citi Corporation. Are you familiar with like Citibank, Citi debit card, Citi credit card, that company?
Yeah, I think I've heard of them before,
Yeah. Okay.
seeing
Yep.
their
So
logo around.
oh, yep, yep, absolutely. So yeah, we used to be a part of Citi. Back in April of 2010, we spun off from Citi and we became our own publicly traded company. So we're a part of New York Stock Exchange. We have an A+ rate on the Better Business Bureau. And right now, Marissa, we actually have the largest financial service company in North America, where we have close to 170,000 licensed reps and agents. And we service anywhere from 50 to 60,000 families every month with some form of their finances. So we got a really large company, Marissa. Most people have not heard of us because we don't do any advertisements. So that's pretty cool that that you ran across the company in some shape or form. So we're alive and well. I always tell people like, hey, we kind of fly up under the radar. You might not see any extravagant commercials or radio ads or anything like that, but we're out here helping people. Okay, so
Cool.
so that's a little bit about the company. So Marissa, we have two jobs, and the first job you kind of got the opportunity to see in that video, whereas that we help people. So we meet with individuals and couples, Marissa, and we help them do things like pay off debts faster. We show them how to save money for things like retirement, kids' educations, dreams and goals. Okay, so and a number of other things that we do. We do insurance programs, annuities, mortgages. We got quite a bit that we can do. If an individual, Marissa, if they have an income and they have expenses, usually in some shape or form, we can help.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's our first job. We're helping people. Our second job is I'm a recruiter for the company. So I'm always looking for individuals and couples to work with us at some capacity. It could be working, as a referral partner just to make some extra money in passing. It can be working with us full time. This is their only source of income. And everywhere in between, Marissa, I have people that also work with me spare time and part time as well.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a little bit about the company, a little bit about our two jobs and what we do. I don't know if you maybe have any questions for me thus far, Marissa.
Not yet.
Yep. Okay. If you do, feel free to stop me and ask. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. So let me tell you a little bit about how I got started. I always like to. I feel like it's only appropriate if I ask you a bunch about you and I tell you about me. So I've been with the company now, Marissa, 16 years. Started part time, just to make some extra money. Never really had the intent on doing Primerica at the capacity that we do it now. Actually, my objective and goal, Marissa, when I got started, was to replace 20 hours that I lost at a job. So I was, working. I was in the process of getting engaged. I just signed a lease on the place, and my job contacted me like, "Hey, we got to cut you 20 hours for whatever the reason was. They need to cut me 20 hours." And I'm like, "Hey, man, y'all ain't get the memo. Like, I got some stuff going on. I need 20 hours, not to lose. I was actually about to hit y'all up for some more hours, but I'm glad you told me that. I need to look for something else now." So I started looking for work, and actually, my brother-in-law he met a gentleman at a church function that was actually getting ready to open up an office locally with Primerica. That's how I heard the company. So I met with the guy, took a look at Primerica, Marissa. Um, got started right away, just with the objective and goal to replace the 20 hours I lost. That was it. That was the only thing that was on my radar at the time. But in 13 months, Marissa, I completely replaced my income at the time. I went full time with the company, and we've been doing it full time ever since. Okay,
Wow.
so we got some good stuff going on, kind of like I shared in the Facebook message with you. We have two offices. We're in the process of opening up a third office. We got about 60 licensed agents, about 500 clients all over the country. And we're looking to grow. We're expanding. So I'm glad to have you on, Marissa. I don't know if you maybe have any questions for me now. If not, I do have a few more questions for you. Is it okay if I ask you a few more questions, Marissa?
Sure, I don't have any questions. Go ahead.
All right, perfect. So these questions is to figure out if and how we can get you started. So, anytime that I'm going through them, Marissa, if you feel like, hey, this wouldn't be a good fit for you, please feel free to stop me and let me know. Okay. And Marissa, if
Okay.
I feel like you wouldn't be a good fit for us, I'll let you know. Is that fair?
Fair.
Perfect. I don't feel like that so far. You sound the right type of person, Marissa. We just got to see if we can make it happen. So, my first question for you, and Marissa, these are very elementary questions, by the way. Like this is not like the bar exam. Like so, I just want to kind of figure out where you are so that you don't have to. You can let your guard down a little bit. It won't be these won't be like tough questions. Okay. So the first question I have for you is on a scale of 1 to 10, Marissa. One being like, hey Jerome, I have no interest learning a new trade. I don't like helping people. I don't need to make any extra money. That would be one. 10 would be like, hey, I love helping people. I don't mind, learn the new trade and making some extra money, obviously, is ideal, Jerome. Where would you say you will fall out on that scale of 1 to 10, Marissa?
Honestly, I would say at least a 7.
7? Okay. That's high enough for me. What would make you an 8, 9, or 10?
If I could 100% replace my income with a
Okay.
little bit of golf money. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I got you. All right. Yeah, I can tell you how to do that. I just wanted to see what will move the bar. Okay. Perfect. Marissa, as far as working with us is concerned, we don't tie anybody down to a schedule. This is 100% remote. So you do, create your own working hours and you can work right from home. However, when I'm getting a brand new person started, I do like to know what type of time you have to give. Okay. So I have time given and how much you can make in those time frames kind of broken up into three different positions. So the first one is what I call a silent partner. My silent partners that work with me, Marissa, they give me about 3 to 5 hours of their time per week. They'll average anywhere from a couple hundred to about $500 a month. So what does this mean? So these people, my silent partners, they're not really looking to do Primerica in the capacity that I'm doing it. They're probably busy doing something else, and they're just looking to make some extra money on the side as a referral partner, like a side hustle. Okay, so that's a silent partner. Then I have like a spare time part time position where these folks they'll work anywhere from about 5 to 20 hours per week with us. They'll average anywhere from maybe 500 to a couple grand per month. So these folks they're given a little bit more time in addition to whatever else that they're doing. Maybe they have a full time job or a college student or part time, and they're looking to work with us in addition to that. Most people that start with me, Marissa, start there. Okay, and then I have a managers and training position. And these people, they work, 20 to 30 hours per week with us. They'll average anywhere maybe from 2,000 to 4 grand per month. Usually the objective and goal there is to transition out of what they're doing into more of a full-time role. Okay. So Marissa, looking at what you currently have going on, where could you see yourself giving time, at least initially?
Probably on a part-time basis. I
Part-time?
do have some flexibility with my job to choose my hours, but I
Okay.
don't like to work super, super late. So
Understandable. Okay. Now, when you say part-time, how many hours are you thinking per week in addition to what you're doing right now?
maybe an extra like 20 hours a week.
Okay. 20 hours per week. Perfect. How soon would you be able to get started, Marissa, if everything makes sense tonight?
I mean, if it made sense, I could start pretty soon, but what exactly would I be doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm gonna get to that here really quickly. Let me ask you a few more questions and I'm gonna cover that in detail for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. And then let me ask you this before making a decision, Marissa, is there anybody else that you have to consult with?
Nope.
All right, so you're saying, hey, like Jerome, I can make my own decision. I don't need to talk to a spouse or significant other or parent, anything like that tonight, if it makes sense.
Well, except Jesus. I gotta
Okay.
talk to
No,
the
that's
Lord about it.
no, that's fair. Hey, listen, Marissa, you seem like a person of the faith. I would think that you've been praying for an opportunity, huh?
I have been. It's funny you mentioned that.
This might be that answer. This might be that answer. I believe that. I don't think you've been praying for opportunity. Then I hit you up on Messenger and now you on my Zoom. So I'm glad to hear that. So I I know this probably isn't you, Marissa, but I gotta ask. This is kind of a part of my deal. Do you currently have any felonies?
No,
And are you currently in a bankruptcy?
no.
Okay. All right. So to answer your question, so what does the work look like? So what will you be doing? So our work, Marissa, consists of three things. Okay. So number one is we'll teach you how to generate leads, how to find people that can benefit from our products and services or working with us at some capacity. And we do that a number of ways. We do that through we use our social medias, as you can see. We have people that are network events, referrals, ads. There are a number of ways that we can go about generate leads. I tell my teammates, Marissa, as long as it's moral, legal, and ethical, and it won't get us in trouble with compliance, I'm pretty okay with it. Okay, I'm pretty okay with it. And we have some ways that we teach, but that's number one. We're gonna help you're gonna generate leads, and you can do that right from home. Number two is, Marissa, your second job that you'll be doing with us on a day to day basis is setting up appointments with those leads. Okay, so you'll set up times to actually meet with people one on one to talk about joining the team at some capacity. Kind of how I'm dealing with you today, or becoming a client with us in some capacity. Okay, so that's our second job is setting up appointments with those generated contacts. And then our third job, Marissa, is running those appointments, actually meeting with those individuals, meet with those couples, and seeing how we can help them. And those three jobs, Marissa, we do all the training from scratch, no previous experience is needed. As long as you are willing to learn, we can get you going on those. Okay. Let me ask you, See, and I think I know my answer to this already, but Marissa, I feel like you mentioned earlier, you are willing to learn a new trade, right? Learn something new, how to do something new,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Once again, it sounds like you already have some transferable skills. I think you said you make calls for work right now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
a closer.
oh, you're close. There you go. Hey, that's good then. So yeah, it probably been a few things that I would have to really teach you, Marissa. Okay. So with that being said, Marissa, we my last question for you because I don't want to keep you too much longer. We do work in a highly regulated industry. Okay. So we're going to equip you with, anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 worth of professional licenses, certifications, and training. Okay. So on this screen that I have up, you can kind of see some of the areas that we get certifications and licenses in. So like insurance license, investment license, you can get a mortgage license with us, just to name a few, annuity license, just to name a few there. And then you can also see some of the companies that we work with. We work with some credible and reputable companies like Rocket, Answer Financial, Fidelity, Voya, right? Some solid companies. So we're going to equip you to get those licenses. However, I do have one last ask of you. Number one is, Marissa, I need you to be able to cover a background check to be able to get in the system with us and be able to pursue those licenses. So that background check, Marissa, is refundable $99. Okay, so we get that back to you when you go through the licensing process. Most people take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to do so. And then I need you to cover a back office. The back office, Marissa, is where um, we service our clients. It allows you to be able to work remotely. You can work on different licenses there. You got landing page, website, all these different things. Okay, so that's $25. So the total, Marissa, for me to get you in the system with us and start pursuing that license is $124. Let me ask you a question, Marissa. Would that be an issue this evening? Covering that. I know nobody gets on a Zoom call looking to cover a background check to get started, but would that be an issue for you?
No,
No?
shouldn't be an issue.
Okay. Well, listen, Marissa, you've answered the questions any way that I want to have a person answer the question. I don't know if you maybe have any other questions for me, but what I would like to do right now is dive into an application, get you going, and then we can set up a time to do orientation the next 24 to 48 hours and we'll get the ball rolling. That sound fair?
Sounds fair, but I think I might have to think about it,
Yep.
if I'm being
So
honest.
no worries. I definitely want you to think about it. Now you said you would be able to get started right away earlier, Marissa. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly did you need to think about?
I think I just need to do some more research.
Okay, perfect. Hey, and is that would you say that's like your only concern is like, hey, I want to just do some more research, and you're doing the research to check credibility? It sounds like maybe.
Yeah, just more background on the company and the companies you work with and things like that.
Okay, perfect. Well, listen, Marissa, I've only been with you here maybe about 17 minutes. So it hasn't been long. I know we carved out 30 minutes to meet. If is it okay if I take you through, we can look up some stuff right now and do some research on the company together so we can take a look at some of the things that you may want to see to kind of move the ball forward?
Sure, that'd be great.
Perfect. And then I would just share my screen and we would just go look at stuff, right? So what will we go look at? Well, you can look at a number of things. I'll show you guys. One thing that you can look at that like if you got a if like so if Marissa's serious, right? And she's like, hey, I want to make sure Primerica's credible and worth me joining. This is what I show people usually. I would say Marissa, so Primerica, like I mentioned earlier, is a publicly traded company. This is where our stock is trading at right now. And
Cool.
I, and I would say and I might ask her, depending on who I'm talking with, too, like, hey, do you understand what publicly traded means? And I might give her a breakdown on that, right? So a publicly traded company is a company that had what you call an IPO, initial public offering, which means that um, they can offer ownership to the public in the company. Okay, Marissa, for a company to go public, They need funding. So they have they have investors, right? Before a company will invest in a company going public like ours, they do their research, right? Before they dump millions of dollars into a company. Marissa, guess how they do their research? You think they Google it or jump like I just Googled the company here? You think they do that?
No.
No. So here's what they do. They go and hire attorneys, put them on retainer, right? Right, millions of dollars, and then they go drop those attorneys into our they drop those attorneys into our home office, not for a couple days, not for a couple weeks, not for a couple months, almost a year. Those attorneys were in and out of our office, going through everything, our structure, right? Going through our procedures, right? Going through the like, hey, how does the CEO operate, right? How does the president? They went through everything, and then they came to a conclusion, Marissa, that hey, this is a company worth investing in. Then they turned around and dropped millions of dollars into our company to become public.
Mm.
Okay. So you asked me a question like, hey, is Primerica the MLM? And I told you no, because we're a publicly traded company where our agents actually get credible licenses to be able to go out there and offer real services to individuals.
Mm.
Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Marissa, any other questions for me? Because if not, I'm ready to get you going.
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
All right, let's make it happen. And then I would
Okay.
just go into my Primerica online and I would take an application. And that's it. That's my presentation. Dan, did you have anything else? Thanks. Thank you, Marissa. Anything, Dan?
No, it was very similar.
Yep. Any questions from anybody in regards to the presentation? No questions? Any questions? This is
Not a
the
question on the presentation, but I was just wondering if I could get that video that you were talking about that you like to send prior.
mm-hmm. Yep. I'll send it to you or I can post it in the
Okay,
chat.
thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Any concerns? Marissa, you did a great job. I think giving some of those objections and asking some of those questions so people can see how to deal with that, right? Because sometimes you get like you guys get those like, hey, I want to do my research, right? I want like, hey, okay, perfect. Let's do some research, right? Let's do some research right now. But this is another reason why your presentation needs to be short, right? And I let Marissa know that, hey, we carved out 30 minutes. We're at the 17-minute mark. Let's go ahead and do some research with our other 13 minutes. So I presented, did some research, gave her some explanation, saw if she asked to see if she had any other questions. That took me 22 minutes. The whole deal. Right? The whole deal. Right? So you're on a call an hour with somebody. You like so then they give you that objection, and you feel bad for trying to do research with them because now they're gonna be on a call for another 10 minutes. Right? But I don't feel bad because me and Marissa carved out 30 minutes. I told her I would need 15 to 30 minutes, and I kept her within that time frame. Right? So I'm okay with going through and answering the questions. Leah, go ahead.
My question was, I didn't write down because I was trying to like put each step that you did. Whenever you form them, and of course, then you ask about their job and all those things. Before you go further, do you ask, like towards the beginning, do you ask anything about if they have questions about the video you sent, or you just kind of wait until you get into the two jobs?
Yeah, I'll just wait until I get into the two jobs. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'll wait till I get
Just
into
making sure I didn't miss that because I'm like, I don't recall you asking anywhere up there. So then I was just making sure you don't ask that question.
Yep, no, that's a great. I'm assuming that they watched the two videos if they watched the video if they're back on. And then when I get to the two jobs, I'll ask them if they watched the video. That's not going to change the way I present. Right? If they told me no, they didn't watch the videos. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna continue to present to them. Yeah. So and what you'll notice, Leah, I never shy away from them asking questions. Right. Like throughout the presentation, if you notice a couple times I asked, do you have any questions? Right. And then the first time she said no. And I said, okay, if you do have any, feel free to stop me and ask. Right? Why is that? Number one is I want to let her know it's okay for her to ask questions. Number two is I want to deal with all of her concerns. Right? I want her to get them out on the table, and I can address them. Now, I want to always recruit a person, but I do want to put myself in a better position to recruit a person by addressing her questions and concerns. So in this example, Marissa felt like her concerns were addressed enough for her to move forward. Right. So I'm going to address those questions. Um,
I have one more question. I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
What if they ask like how we get paid, like the compensation plan, like, and you've only carved out 30 minutes? Do you like schedule another call or do you
Well,
just address it?
I can cover that really quickly. Like I would just probably drop my whiteboard and do a quick example. Yep. So usually what I'll do is I'll do an example of $1,000 in annual premium on a at a 50% contract. Because usually most people that get licensed, they're usually at a 35 or 50% contract. So I'll do it at a 50% contract. Right? If they went through field training with us and they did what we asked them to do, they're at least at a 35, 50% contract once they get licensed. So I would say, okay, that's a great question, Marissa. I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna share my screen really quick and give you a quick idea of how we get comped. And I would just share my screen. So let's say, Marissa, I met with you to help you. You were referred to me, and I met with you to help you with um your insurance. So I met with you, and this usually takes me, Marissa, about 45 minutes. Let's call it 45 minutes to an hour. So let's say I met with you and I did your insurance, and I said it was going to be about $83 per month. This is the company average size transaction that helps somebody, by the way, Marissa. Okay. So we don't get paid based on a month, we get paid based on a year. So let's say so for the year, they're gonna spend about $1,000. Okay. This $1,000, Marissa shows me two things. This shows me my production on a transaction and how much I'm going to get comped on that transaction. Okay. So my production is $1,000 and I'm going to get paid based off of that $1,000. Does that make sense, Marissa? So let's say I have a 50% contract. That's where most of my newly licensed agents are when they get certified with us through our training process. So if they had 1,000, so 50% contract. So I'm gonna show you the math on this, Marissa. I'm not gonna sugarcoat you. I want to show you exactly how this works. So they have 50% contract. You multiply that times 50%. So that's $500. You don't get paid all of that $500. uh, the company takes out a policy fee. So you got $500. The policy fee is $65. So I take away the 65. So that brings this to 435. So you're going to make 435 on this transaction in full, Marissa. Okay. The company is going to give you a portion of it up front. They call that an advance. So they give you 75% up front or 9 months. Because 75% of a year is 9 months. But that's what they give you up front. You got quick math, Marissa? You know how much that is? 75%? No, you don't. Let's see. I think I got an idea, but I want to make sure. I think it's like 325. Let me make sure though. So 430. 326. So Marissa, if you met with me and my wife for an hour and you helped us with this life insurance transaction, I'm just calling it 1,000. I got way more than this though, Marissa. But you'd have made way more of me if we really did this. But let's say you met with my wife and I for 45 minutes to an hour. You helped us with our life insurance. We're going to pay $1,000 for the year. You got a 50% contract. You did a sale, you did that transaction, you will be paid $326 tomorrow night on it. Let me ask you this, Marissa. Right now, if you can answer this out loud if you want to, you don't have to. Right now, Marissa, at your current job, how long does it take you to make $326?
I'm like midway through the week at that point.
Okay. So obviously if you could, it sounds like if you could have a license where you were able to do that in a couple hours, that'd be cool, right?
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be awesome.
So
I could
that's
replace my income pretty quickly then.
there you go. So that's kind of that's exactly what I did, Marissa. My first transaction that I made what it took me a week to make at my job. And I was like, listen, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer at this point in my life, 22-year-old Jerome. But I was like, if y'all gonna pay me like that, I will talk to everybody and their mama. And that's what I started doing. Right. And like I said, in 13 months, I replaced my income. Okay. So does that kind of answer your question on the compensation? And this is just with your
Yeah, that
insurance.
does.
This is just with, and not only that, Marissa, a few things. This is just with your insurance license. Also, you have a residual component to this. Remember, we only paid you 9 months up front, right? So this 75% was only the first 9 months, right? So watch this. So remember, I told you you would get paid how much in full? 435, right? So you got another $108 out there that didn't pay out, right? So watch this. When the client gets into month 10 of their policy, they make month 10 payment, right? You're gonna have a small check of $36 payout. They get to month 11, they make their payment, you're gonna have another small check of $36 paid out. They get to month 12, they make their next payment, you're gonna have another check of $36 paid out. Now you've been paid all 12 months on this client, right? So, and that's just one client. What if you did 3 or 4 clients that month? So you would get whatever you got in, we call this an advance, because they're advancing you 9 months up front, right? But then you would have the rest of that money paying out in months not it's staggered. Like every month you get a client, every month you have this happen. Like right now, Marissa, I could stop working just off this concept alone. Not include I'm not getting into all the other stuff right now, Marissa, like my investment license, my annuities, all that stuff. Just off this concept alone, Marissa, I can stop working right now and get paid the next year. I can bring on 0 new clients, no brand new clients, and get paid the next year off of this concept. It's called earned income. Make sense? All right, perfect. Let's get you going. Then I'll go back and I'll pick back up where we left off at. We talked about doing an application. So I'm gonna say, hey, let's get you going. I'm gonna get back into the application. But that's kind of how I would deal with pay really quickly. And that took me like 7 minutes. Okay. Good question. Any other questions? You guys think this is good? Dan, you got anything you want me to cover before we let them go, or we're good?
No, that's good.
Good stuff. Well, listen, man, practice makes perfect. Practice make perfect. I had a good conversation with Leah today about practice and drill rehearsing. Like we'll get this stuff out to you guys. I'll post that video so you guys can have it. And Dan's recording this presentation. He recorded his also. Pick one. I don't care which one you give. But here's the deal. Like in your downtime, like you got to drill, practice, rehearse. Like I gave the presentations, right? Like thousands of times to nobody. Like to me, myself, and I, right? But I practiced. So when it came real time, right? Even like I haven't had the time to, present to anybody. So I'm kind of, I'm not sharp. Well, that should never be a reason to not be on your game, right? Because you can practice yourself in your downtime. So I mean, I would present these once or twice a day. Some of you guys got a significant other or a spouse, if they're supportive and they want to see you do well, man, pull them to the side. I can't tell you, man, how many times my wife sat through me presenting to her, right? Just like, hey, I want to present this to you. And I probably didn't have an appointment on my schedule at the time, Marissa, but I just wanted to be ready for when the time came. See, listen, when preparation meets opportunity, that equals success. Most of you will get an opportunity. Will you be prepared is the question. Will you be prepared is the question. So appreciate you guys giving us some time this evening, man. Excited. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Excited to finish the last quarter of the year strong. Man, look, connect with your regional vice president, your upline. Let's get after it. Let's get after it, man. Look, there's some people out there that need our help. Right? There's some people out there that they need to have insurance, they need to have investments, they need to have plans put together, they need to have their budgets looked over. Man, we're doing the right things for people, man. And not only that, we're gonna do the right thing for yourself, man. Some of you guys are looking to make some extra money coming into the holiday season, right? Looking to pay your bills, whatever it is, man. Let's make it happen. We got you. Dan and I got you. Your uplines got you. Your field trainers, we got you. Appreciate you guys giving me